Hey everybody, it's Sunday, which means it's time for story time. I have probably one of the coolest looking inverts on my hand right now that we have ever gotten in at this store. Since it's February and we're doing Valentine's themed stuff, I found this really cool pink dragon millipede, or electric pink millipede. This is a really cool species that was only first discovered in 2007 and formally described in 2008. This is a species that was found on limestone caverns in Thailand. And as you notice, it doesn't really look like most millipedes. Majority of millipedes we look at have at least 4 legs per body segment. This guy, it kind of looks like there's 4 per body segment, but they're more spread out than on other millipedes. And also, he's what we would consider a flatback millipede. You'll notice that it's not nearly as rounded as most millipedes are. It's actually got armor going up its back. And it's really hard to see in the video just with how small this guy is. And even though he's small, this is actually an adult millipede of this species. Now, the pink on his back is basically a warning sign to other animals back off. Just like most millipedes, this guy is technically toxic. He can secrete a hydrogen cyanide out of his back end there that's going to smell bad and taste bad for any potential predators who try grabbing a hold of them. But typically, these guys are hardly seen because, like a lot of other detritivores, they're going to be spending their time underneath leaf litter and digging in the dirt. Now, a lot of millipedes that we have here and that we've seen on Storytime before tend to be burrowers and like to go deep down into the soil. Flatback millipedes don't do this. Flatback millipedes stay on the surface or slightly below the surface, mainly living in leaf litter and bark. This makes it easier for them to find food, and also since they're not as armored or as strong as other millipedes, it's a little bit easier for them to get around. Now, there's not a lot known about this millipede. Again, only discovered in 2007 and formally described in 2008. So they're just starting to make their way into the pet trade. There are people out there trying to breed them so we can regularly find them. But flatback millipedes are a little bit more difficult to take care of than your average millipede. And if you've been to the store, you know that we have things like bumblebee millipedes, smoky oaks, ivories, American giants, California giants. All those are very easy to keep. But flatbacks just get a little bit trickier because the way that they're set up is slightly different. And we're still just learning about them. Now, as I mentioned, this is a Valentine's themed story time, and I have a Valentine's book with me that happens to actually match his color. Other than that, there's not a lot of Valentine's Day books out there, and there's definitely not any about millipedes I've been able to find. So for today, we're going to read Valentines Are for Saying I Love You by Margaret Sutherland. And we're going to read it to our little pink dragon millipede friend here. All right. On Valentine's Day, there's always lots of candy. Lots of heart-shaped candy. I get to take 3 licks of my lollipop at breakfast. My daddy gives my mommy a big bunch of flowers. At school, we have a party. Everything is so pink and pretty. We're gonna move our millipede friend back to my hand. Oh, come here. There we go, good as new. At home, I make a special card for Mommy. It has glitter all over it, even on the back. The one for Daddy has doilies on it that look just like lace. I stick a little doggy biscuit on the card for Arrow. How long does it take him to eat it? About a minute. And for my baby brother, I tape a big heart with an arrow on his crib. It'll be the last thing he sees before he goes to sleep. My grandparents come to visit after dinner, and I have cards for them too. My grandma's card smells extra sweet because I sprayed it with perfume. And because my grandpa likes jokes, I made a funny card. You read the back of it first. Get our Millipede back to the front here. Oh, this hand, buddy. There we go. Valentine's Day always comes on February 14th, but it's not like other holidays like Christmas or Thanksgiving. It is a day when you show your friends and family how much you love them. Of course, you can do that any day, but on Valentine's Day, it's extra special. So there you have it. Valentines are for saying I love you, which is pretty much the theme of Valentine's Day and what all dozen or so books I've been able to find about Valentine's Day say. It's just an extra special time to make sure that you let the people in your life know that you care about them. Kind of like how I'm caring about this millipede right here and looking out for its well-being, which earlier in the video I talked about being able to determine whether it's male or female. And if this one goes by the rules that other millipedes go for, I'm pretty sure that this one is a male. Normally, on our bigger millipedes, the ones that have 4 sets of legs per body segment, you would count to the 7th body segment back, and the arms would be extra short if it's a male, or normal length if it's a female. And this one looks like he does have a shorter set of legs on what would be his 7th body segment. So looks like we might have a boy here. Now we just have to try to find him some girlfriends before Valentine's Day and see how it goes. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning about our pink dragon millipede here, and I hope you enjoyed our book about Valentine's Day. We'll see you guys next week.